So again, we're going to do the odds today. So let's start out with 1/15 plus 3/5. Now, I'm hoping as you're doing this, label it properly, and then let's go back and make sure 1/15 plus 3/5. Now, here's the way I would like you to look at it. I like to stack the fractions on top of each other. Uh-oh, it was 3/5 though. All right. Now, does everybody remember? All right. I need to get a common denominator, right? Right. And so a common denominator, really what that means is the least common multiple. Now, if you're having trouble, tell me if this is okay. The common denominator would be 15. Does everybody remember this? Is everybody comfortable with that being 15? You don't see it?
What would you do with the
Well, we're not done there. I just want to make sure you understand why the common denominator is 15.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we convert the fraction so we can add the denominators. So I've got to convert 3/5. I've got to multiply, do you remember, by 3/3? Because now that gives me what? That gives me the denominator of 15. But the numerator now becomes what? 9. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
And now, when you're doing that, all right, because the first fraction already has 15, technically you're just multiplying by 1, but do you really have to put that there? No, right? So we know it's just 1/15. All right? Now from there, because they do now have a common denominator, 15, common denominator is 15, you can add them like you did yesterday. So now 9/15 plus 1/15 is what? Is 10/15. Yeah, and you would divide by 5, which today is 2/3. All right? Now, again, I try to say this so you understand what I mean. If you don't know what I'm doing, now's the time to ask. Right? If you're not 100% sure, now's the time to ask. All right, now, believe it or not, fractions was taught in 5th grade. So you learned how to add and subtract in 5th grade. You also did it again last year. So bear with me?
Yeah.
Right, so you should be pretty good. You should be kind of rusty maybe, but it should be coming back. If it's not making sense, it's okay. You got to tell me so I can correct it right now. All right? So that's number 1. All right? Now I'm going to look again at question number 3. We're going to just do the odds. All right? So question number 3. I have 7/8 minus 2/7. 7/8 minus 2/7. Now, again, I'm going to try to say something kind of important here, so listen up to me. This denominator right here and this right here, is there anything common with 8 and 7?
56.
Yes, but I mean, there's no common factors, correct? Since there aren't any common factors, you always just do what? Multiply them together. All right, that's kind of the rule. If there's no common factors, you can just multiply them together. Yes, ma'am. Well, do you agree the common denominator is 56?
Yeah.
All right, so let's first put that down and just make sure I'm on the same page with you. So we got a 56 and we got a 56. And now multiplying the first fraction by what? 7. So this is 7/7, which is 49/56. And on the second fraction, we're multiplying by what?
8.
So we're multiplying by 8/8, which makes it 16. Does everybody agree? And what are we doing to the two fractions? We are subtracting, right? So now we have to physically do the subtraction. So 49 minus 16, thank you so much, is 33/56. And it cannot reduce. All right? Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Any questions? Like I said, every little time, every movement we make might be a little bit harder. All right, so again, I need to say, if you're not sure, I need to know right away. Yes, sir.
Wait, so why do you multiply?
Well, because we're trying to get a common denominator.
Oh.
Do you want me to explain to you? Do you know why we have to have a common denominator? Most kids do not.
So.
So, like, let me just give you something basic. Let me give you something basic. And this goes for everybody. Stop what you're doing and look up on the board because I want to make sure you understand why you have to have a common denominator. Listen to me now. Look up. All right? When I first learned fractions, everything to me was a pizza because that made sense to me. All right? So now, please look up. Here's a pizza. How much pizza do I have left in this figure? I have a half a pizza. Now look over here. This is what finally got me to understand why I had to do, because I thought it was dumb. Why do you have to get common denominators? All right, so let's look here. How much of the pizza do I have there?
1/3.
1/3, right? You have 1/3. All right? Now the question is, why can't I just add them together and get, let's say, for example, 2/5?
Because it's one part of the pizza, so the denominator is like.
The denominator is what?
It's like it has to be the same number because it's like the
Yeah, because look, here's why. Here's the technical reason. Look up there, please, so you can see. The only way you can add things together is if you're adding equal things. Listen to what I'm saying now. That's really tricky for some kids. I can't add 1/2 plus 1/3 because look, the pieces aren't the same. The size of the pieces are not the same. Does everybody hear me on that? This piece over here is a lot different than this piece over here. They're not the same size. Does everybody get that? But if I make them the same size, then I can add them together. So now I'm going to try to show you how I'm making them the same size. Everybody look up. I'm going to make them the same size by doing this. Now, what does the colored in region represent now? 3 out of what?
6.
That's right. It represents 3/6. You see what I'm saying now, right? So 3/6 plus, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to do my best here. Now that makes what?
2, 6.
2 out of 6. Now, if I was great at drawing, you would be able to notice that this piece right here and this piece right here are exactly now what? Exactly the same size. Does everybody understand now, right? You can't add or subtract fractions without common denominators because they're different sizes. So when you get a common denominator, you're making them all what? The same size. And if you make them all the same size, now you can do what? You can add them together. You can add them or subtract them. So you cannot add or subtract fractions until they're exactly the same size. All right? Is everybody with me now? All right? That is why it's important to understand when you're adding or subtracting, you have to put them in the same size. So over here, we said that 7/8 minus 2/7 is the same as 49/56 minus 16/56. So this represents, and then I'm going to be quiet, that means you have 49 out of 56 pieces. And now you're taking away what? 16 of those 56 pieces. And so you're left with what? 33 of those 56 pieces. Is everybody with me on this now? All right, I think that's a really good explanation of fractions that have different denominators and why you have to have common denominators in order to add or subtract. You can't add things unless they're the same value and the same size. All right, so that was question number 3. So now let's take a look at question number 5. All right, so now how I want you to do this, negative 2 1/3 minus, what was it, 7 1/2. So now I'm just going to demonstrate something here. the question is now from everybody, am I adding or am I going to subtract these? That's right. You got to think carefully. Now, before you do this, you have to decide, am I going to add them or am I going to subtract them? Right? You're going to add them together, and when you add them together, the answer is going to be what? It's going to be negative. The answer is going to be negative. So what I want to do right now is I want to come down here and put negative. Now, this is kind of weird because we just added 1/3. Hey, boys, I just did what? 1/3 plus 1/2, right? Kind of weird how that worked out, but it did. So this again is 2/6. This is 3/6, and we're adding. And when we add, that becomes -9 and what? And 5/6. Now remember, I'm trying to tell you, the longer you wait to ask me a question, the harder it is. Yes, ma'am. Good for you.
Well, is there like any explanation behind like how we get here? Why we subtract?
Yeah, and I always tell kids, think in terms of money. If you owe, and this is what I tell kids because I think it's helpful. If you owe your mom $2 and you owe your dad $7, you owe what? You owe $9. So we added them. All right, I like to think in terms of money. All right. Now, again, that was question number 5. All right. So now let's check out question number 7. All right. Number 7, -1/4 minus 7/9. -1/4 minus 7/9. All right. So let's take a quick look at this. Common denominator for 4 and 9.
27.
Is everybody okay with
36.
36, right? Now, I want you to realize 4 and 9 have nothing in common, so we can just multiply 4 times 9 together. That's not always the case, though, and we'll talk about that. All right? So we get a common denominator of 36. Now, listen to me, please, because this is the time where I say you've had fractions now for 3 years. We ought to be able to do it a little bit quicker. So here is the only thing you can leave out right at the moment. All right? The common denominator is what? 36, correct? So what do I multiply 4 by? Right, so 9 times 1 is 9. Is everybody with me on that? You can leave out that step where you show me what you're multiplying. And then this is 36, and I multiplied by what? 4, so that becomes a 28 out of 36. Correct? And so now, are we going to add them or subtract them again? Add them because they're both negative, right? So what's 29, or what's 9 and 28? 37 out of 36. And it's negative. And now this is just brilliant mental math, right? -1 and 1/36. Is everybody happy with that explanation? Right, that's the only thing I want you to leave out is what you're multiplying by. All right. This is exactly how I want to see it. All right. Yes. All right. Let's take a look now at question number 9. 5/8 minus 7/12. All right. Now this one can be annoying, so please be careful. 9 5/8 minus 7/12. Thank you, bud. I know. All right, here we go. 5/8 minus 7/12. Now here's where I want you to think like this. I need a common denominator. 12 and then 24. Right, I'm doing the multiples of 12. 12, 24, 36, 48. Could I have chosen 48? Yes, but we would just have to reduce at the end. All right? But does everybody understand what I'm saying? We're using the multiples. And I always tell the kids, start with a larger number. 8 doesn't go into 12. So then we do the next multiple of 12, which is what? 24. Does 8 go into 24? Then the common denominator is what? Then the common denominator is 24. So here we go. So I'm going to put a 24 here, and I'm going to put a 24 here. Now multiply the top fraction by what? 3. So that becomes a what? 15. Multiply the bottom fraction by
2.
So that becomes a. Now, am I adding or subtracting? Subtracting. Yep, 1/24. That was nice work. Now, come on, that's not that bad. All right. Julian, try to, you can just open up and start today's lesson on your iPad.
My iPad died.
Well, there's a plug right over there. Go sit over there. All right. And we're doing adding and subtracting fractions. All right. This is a little bit harder because they don't have the same denominator. All right. So now I need everybody to take a look at number 11, please. Now, how should I write number 11? Someone tell me. What would it be?
5, 5, 6 minus plus.
That's
0.
right. Listen, we don't say double negatives. The double negatives automatically makes a what?
Positive.
Positive. So here we go. Listen up, guys. So for question number 11, we're going to write 5 and 5, 6 plus 2 and 1/4. Is everybody happy with that explanation so far? All right. Now, let me see. Is anybody having trouble? Anybody having trouble with this? All right. Jesse, can you tell me the common denominator here then?
So wouldn't the common denominator be like 24?
It could be 24, yes. It definitely could be 24. But remember what I said. Start with the larger one and it would be,
12.
I think it would be 12, right? You see that, right? Because I start with 6 and 4 doesn't go into 6, so I double it, and then I'd say 12. Does 4 go into 12? Yes. So to me, that's the easiest way to do it. But again, listen, if you don't get the least common denominator, you're just making yourself what? More work, that's all. All right? So let's go with 12. All right? We're going with 12.
Oh, it's 12.
Now, the top fraction is multiplied by what? What am I multiplying the 2? This would be 10/12. Multiplying the bottom fraction by what?
3.
3. So I have what? 3/12. Is everybody with me? So Julian, just real quickly, we're on page 128, 1 through 33. Get that locked in real quick. All right, now I'm back. Now we're going to add, right? So 5 plus 2 is 7. 10 plus 3 is
13.
So we have 7 and 13/12. Now I feel like we're pretty good at this now. So if I said 7 and 13/12, everybody would just know that's what? 8 and 1/12. Is anybody struggling with that? And like I said, it's okay to have forgotten. It's been a long time. Everybody's totally comfortable with what I'm saying here? That's the same as 8 and 1/12. All right, stay organized now. All right, so that's number 11. Now I'm doing question 13, which I'm going to have to drop down. Oh, there is no 13. That was a word problem. All right. So now I'm doing 15. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put 15 right in this blank space right here. Sounds like a good song, doesn't it? All right. Whatever. 15. Here we go. Now, someone tell me how I should write this one. Sebastian, how should I write it? Oh, come on. How should I do? Tell me. Yes, that's exactly right. We don't do the double signs. We do not do double signs. It's either positive or negative. It's not both. So I want everybody on 15 to write down 5/7 minus 10/21. There we go. Yes, exactly. That's exactly the rule. So everybody should be comfortable with telling me what's the common denominator now. Common denominator is 21. So I'm just going to put a 21 here, multiplying that by what? What am I multiplying? 3. So the numerator becomes 15. And the bottom is nice because it already has 21. Don't forget we're subtracting. Final answer, guys. Come on. 5/21. Now, I can't help you out if you're not willing to help yourself. Any issues on that, guys? Any issues? All right, good. All right, let's take a look at 17 now. I'd like somebody to tell me how to write 17 properly. Sebastian, you with me now?
Yes.
All right, what is it?
Okay.
How would I write that?
So negative. First step, find the common denominator.
Now, I'm not asking you how to solve the problem, Sebastian. That's why I'm saying you have to listen to me. I'm asking you, how do I set that up? How do I write it properly? It's not written properly.
Negative 1/3 plus. So negative 1/3 minus 10 over 11.
Yes, come on, Sebastian, man, you're really smart. I need for you to listen to my question. All right? Does everybody understand that now? We're not doing the double signs. All right? We're not doing the double signs. All right? So now I need a what, Sebastian?
Okay, so now you have to find the
And what is it?
33.
Yes, beautiful. So now we're doing 33. So what am I multiplying the first fraction by?
10. 11.
So that is,
11 over 33.
and the bottom's being multiplied by,
3.
so that is,
3 over 33.
yes. Now, again, here's the tricky part. Do you add them or do you subtract them? You add them. But the answer is going to be what? The answer is going to be negative. So when we do that, that becomes what? Negative 41 over 33. And we're just practicing our mental math here. So if I said negative 41 over 33, that's the same as 1 and 8 over 33. I'm happy with that. All right. Let's just keep going, guys. Let's talk about 19 now. 1/6 minus 5/7. All right, I think we're going to have an issue here. Connor, what do you think the common denominator is? You can just look up. Yep, look up on the board. I have it written.
Oh.
What will be the common denominator with 6 and 7?
Oh, 42.
You're awesome, buddy. 42. So I'm going to put a 42 here and a 42 here. And now, what's the top fraction?
7.
Yes, sir. And the bottom fraction is?
30.
Exactly. Very good. Now, can you tell me what 7 minus 30 is? Positive or negative? Why negative? Right, exactly. Come on, guys. You have to be careful. Now, does everybody understand 7 minus 30? Right, can we really do 7 minus 30? So you should kind of read it as what? 30 minus 7, right? But I was happy that you knew 7 minus 30 was negative 23. That's really important now. All right, so my answer is negative 23 over 42. Negative 23 over 42. All right, Julie, now you really got to be listening. All right, because you came in a few minutes late and I don't want you to be behind. Do you hear me? All right, negative 23 over 42. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 21. Oh, man, I can't do that. I forgot. All right, so what I'm going to have to do for 21, I'm going to have to drop down a little bit for 21. So I'm going to put 21 right down here. And for 21, negative 3/10 minus 1/15. Negative 3/10 minus 1/15. Anybody have an issue with that? All right. So, common denominator. What is the common denominator? Colin, can you tell me what the common denominator is with 15 and 10, please?
15.
Does 10 go into 15?
No.
No?
Yes, it does. No.
Well, it goes in 5, but not completely, correct?
No, it doesn't.
So what's the next multiple of 15? 15, then what?
30.
Yes. Does 10 go into 30?
Yes.
So then the common denominator is what?
30.
30. Common denominator is 30. All right, so what's the numerator of the top fraction, Colin?
It is 30. No,
Think about it now for a second. What am I multiplying 10 by?
3.
Yes.
So it's 9.
There you go. Right? Now don't forget that it's negative 9 too.
Yeah.
And what I'm multiplying the bottom fraction by?
Multiplying it by 2.
Yep.
So it's going to be 2.
And don't forget that this also negative 2. Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right. So now negative 9/30 minus 2/30 is what, Colin?
It is negative. It's negative 7 over 30.
Be careful. You owe your mom 9 and you owe your dad 2. You owe 9. And,
Oh, it's 11.
what type of 11?
Negative. It's negative 11.
All right. There's lots of ways to make a careless mistake on 21. Is everybody happy with the fact that that's negative 11 over 30? Everybody good? All right. Now remember what I'm trying to tell you. It's getting harder. So the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Are you with me? You know how to do that now. All right. Let's check out 23 now. Oh, thank you. No 23, 25. Thank you so much. All right, 25. 8 1/2. Everybody do 8 1/2 by yourself. Plus 3 4/5. And raise your hand when you're done so I can come around and smack you if you get it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm allowed to do that. Your parents said it was okay. Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did. Especially, they said you. So, I'm doing it in my head. 12. You got it. Let me see. You get. Pressure's on. Give me a wrong answer.
Sorry.
What's final answer? Final answer is 3/10. I know you know the answer. What? 17 3/14?
No.
No, we're doing.
325.
Oh, 25. Will said 26.
He's messing with you, man. Will is messing with you.
Oh, he was. Oh, good. Okay.
What'd you get?
What was playing with me? Done.
You see that? Yeah, you do circle 13. You guys circle 13. Now I'm in Texas, 10, 14, 13. So there's going to be, that becomes a 13. And then we left over. What? 8 plus 3 is 11. Plus 1 is. Oh. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, Colin. Did you get yours right? All right, here we go. Let's look. That's wrong.
Wrong.
Here we go. Common denominator is what? 10. So here we go. 10, 10, 8, 5, 11, and 13 tenths. Uh-oh. 11 13 which is the same as what? 12 3/10. 12 3/10. All right, that's pretty good. All right, not too bad. All right, now I want to move on with different signs. So let's take a look at 27. All right, this one's really easy. So 16 5/6 minus 12 1/3. Chop, chop. Why is this one easy? Yeah, 1/3 is the same as what?
2/6.
Yeah, this one's really, really easy. So listen to me. If that's the case, all you have to do is say that's 2/6. Does everybody agree with that? Right? And now do the subtraction. So the final answer would be what? 4 and 3/6, which reduces to, yes, 4 and 3/6, 4 and 1/2. Connor, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Will, put your foot down, please. Anybody have any questions with that being 4 and 1/2?
No, sir.
All right, I'm agreeing with you guys. That wasn't so bad. That was what, 27, right? All right, I'm trying to find something that, ooh, yes, 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 yes. Everybody, I want everybody to do with me question number 28.
Okay.
All right, look up at 28, please. Now, I need your attention, especially on 28. I'm going to write it the way they have it. 6 and 6/7 minus 11 and 7/8. Please look up here, guys. Now, we're going to add those or we're going to subtract them? We're going to subtract them, right? So this is the only time when you subtract that your larger number has to be where, though? Yeah, it should be on the top. Does everybody agree with that? So I think you should rewrite it, but our answer, our ultimate answer, is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? It's definitely going to be negative, right? So I'm putting a negative down to the side so I don't forget. And then I'm going to subtract. But in order to do the subtraction easier, I'm going to have to write 11 and 7/8 minus 6 and 6/7. Does everybody understand that? Except technically it's negative and a positive like that. I think you guys are okay with that. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Then we subtract, so the common denominator is what? Yeah, we already had this problem once, I think. So multiply the top by what?
The top by.
Bless you. And that's going to be 49. Multiply the bottom by what?
6.
By what? Good. By 8.
Oh.
6 times 8 is 48. So there we have it. And now we're going to subtract. So 49 over minus 48 is what? 1 out of 56. 11 minus 6 is?
-5.
5, correct? But we said at the beginning that we knew the answer had to be what? We knew the answer had to be negative. All right, so that was kind of tricky. All right. Now, again, that was 28. So now I want to take a look at 29. On 29, both of them are negative, so we're going to have to do what? Add them. That's right. Now, we're not multiplying, right? We're not multiplying. All right. So 29, you have to add them together. Make yourself a note on that. 31, they're both what? They're both positive, so we're just going to do what? Add them. And then 33, they're both negative, so we're going to do what? Add them, and they're going to be what? Negative answer. Is everybody comfortable with that? I want you to be able to look at them and decide whether you have to add them or subtract them, because I do think that's kind of tricky. All right, what time do we get out here? I forget.
17.
Yeah, so that's a good place to stop. Listen, your job is, if you're having trouble, listen to it again tonight. With my next class, I'm going to go ahead and do the evens. So you should have a good chunk of the problems done. Is everybody with me? All right, don't take a shortcut and not do it now. All right, make sure you get it done. All right, all the addition and subtraction, positives, negatives, seem to be tricky. All right, but not if you do these problems. All right, so please get to work. All right.